Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss about the long thoracic nerve palsy. Long thoracic nerve palsy is a condition characterized by pain and loss of shoulder joint movements due to damage or injury to long thoracic nerve. This nerve evolves from roots of cervical vertebra, that is C5, C6, C7. You can see in this image. Serratus anterior muscle is also involved in forward arm activities and overhead activities. So in this nerve palsy, there is a condition we can see, that is winging of scapula. So in this image you can see the patient has over protrusion or abnormal protrusion, you can see, in the right side. This condition is occurred due to the injury or damage to the long thoracic nerve. This condition that is called winging of scapula. So damage to the long thoracic nerve cause weakness of the serratus anterior muscle, which results in abnormal protrusion of scapula or shoulder blade, which is commonly known as winging of scapula. So now we'll discuss briefly about the anatomy of long thoracic nerve. Long thoracic nerve arises from the upper portion of the superior trunk of brachial plexus and typically receives contribution from cervical nerve roots C5, C6 and C7. It is a motor nerve responsible for innervation of serratus anterior muscle, which function is to pull the scapula forward around the thorax. So this long thoracic nerve, it is also responsible for assisting the respiration. So in this image, see the long thoracic nerve supply to the serratus anterior muscle, which are connected to the ribs. So now we'll see the causes. So long thoracic nerve is more prone to injury due to its excessive length. So some of the injury due to trauma to the nerve, direct blow to the rib area, overstretching or repetitive arm movement, sustained bearing of excessive weight over the shoulder, surgical procedures such as mastectomies, breast removal surgery. Mastectomies, that is called breast removal surgery, and rib resections. Deep tissue massage may also cause long thoracic nerve injury. Any congenital conditions or any infections also may cause injury to the long thoracic nerve. Now we'll see the clinical features, means sign and symptoms because of injury to the long thoracic nerve. These are pain over shoulder, neck and back, weakness of muscles, limitation of shoulder elevation, then scapular winging, drooping shoulder, then fatigue. Now assessment history. Then we have to assess the observation, that is look for symmetry of both scapula shoulder level. Then examination. Under examination we have to assess the serratus anterior muscle, that is by manual muscle testing. Range of motion, especially for shoulder joint, all the movements we have to assess. Special test, that is push-up test, we can check. In push-up test we have to ask the patient to stand up and with the palms on the wall and slowly perform a normal push-up. If there is any scapular retraction, scapular winging, scapular elevation, the test is positive. Now we'll see the investigations. Under investigation we can check by EMG, that is electromyography, NCV, nerve conduction velocity, MRI, magnetic resonance imaging. Now what are the differential diagnosis? That is, what are the differential conditions we can see? There is peripheral nerve disorders, that is winging of scapula. Winging of scapula not only occur due to the long thoracic nerve palsy, it may occur due to the cervical spine disease also. Now thoracic outlet syndrome and acromioclavicular disorder may also be included. Then long thoracic nerve palsy. Now surgical management. Under surgical management, long thoracic nerve release is a surgery performed to reduce the compression of long thoracic nerve. Then transfer of sternal head of the pectoralis major Transfer of sternal hair of the pectoralis major to the inferior border of the scapula. Next is physiotherapy management. The problem list. The problems which has the patient by long thoracic nerve injury, that is dull aching pain over the shoulder, difficulty doing overhead and forward reach activities, weakness of serratus anterior muscle, scapula winging also seen. Then what are the aims by the physiotherapist? That is, the aim of the physiotherapist is reduce pain, improve range of motion of the shoulder, strengthening of the serratus anterior muscle, scapula stabilization. Now PT management, shoulder active and passive range of motion exercise, braces for stabilization of the scapula prescribed by the physiotherapist, stretching exercises. Now some of the active stretching by the patient done, that is rhomboid stretching, you can see here in the image. Then levator scapular stretching, patient is doing actively. Latissimus dorsi stretching. Now exercises. The exercises, muscle training exercises, that is push-ups. Under push-ups, elbow push-ups can done. Press up, horizontal abduction, elbow at back pocket exercise. Then horizontal abduction along with external rotation by using resistive bands. Now physiotherapy management after surgery. So after surgery, to following the surgery includes pain, stiffness, numbness due to anesthesia, which are done common symptoms. And after surgery, the management, we have to take assessment and give the explanation to the patient. Now protocol. The protocol after surgery by the physiotherapist, which are taken, that is week 1 to 3. Initially, minimize post-operative complications, that is reduce the acute symptoms and initiation of movement. So that means the complications after surgery, which are commonly seen, we have to reduce that complications and symptoms and all. Then cryotherapy can be given to the patient. Then gentle range of motion, it may be passively or actively can be done. Scapular stabilization exercise, active movements of hand or wrist and elbow to prevent stiffness. Then week 4 to 8. Week 4 to 8, active range of motion exercises, scapular stabilization, stretching, serratus anterior reduction. Now next, advice. Advice to the patient. Avoid repetitive shoulder or arm movement when possible. Maintain correct posture using an ergonomic chair or pillow, using shoulder friendly ergonomic bags and backpack. Avoid carrying too much weight on the shoulder. Follow up the stretching and strengthening exercises of shoulder, neck and upper arm. That means what are the exercises you given before. You have to advise the patient to do at home also. Thank you. If you have any doubt, please comment.